Wow. In the middle of the night, like some burglars and thieves, the deal was done. And now Tobias Harris is a member of the Philadelphia 76ers, and now they have a big four. Ooh. The 76ers are in the game. Big time. They're back. And back heavy too, I must say. I know, I must admit, I didn't expect this kind of move. Now they're a big four. Well, this doesn't really affect LeBron. They're in the East, and the chances if they meet, they'll be in the finals. So LeBron would definitely be happy about that. That would be a win-win for him. But let's get into the gist of everything right now as what's going on. Now they have a big four instead of a big three. Let me explain to you what this really means. And well, this kind of helps LeBron James more than anything because it actually weakens the Los Angeles Clippers. You know, Tobias Harris just hit his last shot as a Clipper. It was a game-winning shot. So that just happened hours ago. You know, so Tobias Harris is that outside threat that they really needed in clutch situations. You got a guy that could shoot it or put it on the floor and take it to the basket. He's a good complementary player. Not a 2 or 3, but at a 4 position, yes. The 4th option on the team, Tobias Harris, that's a heck of a lineup. And then they only gave up Boban Marjanovic, Mike Scott. All 3 of those guys went. So Boban is not a Clipper no more. He's in Philly. So Tobias Harris, Boban, Mike Scott, and Landry Shamet. I mean, they go in there for Landry Shamet or Landry, Wilson Chandler, Mike Musa, a 2020 first rounder, a 2011 unprotected first round pick, and 2 second-round picks just for Tobias Harris. Are you joking right now? They gave up 4 picks for Tobias Harris. Oh, they want to win a chip. This is not. They want to beat Boston now. 76ers want to beat Boston now. They don't want to wait. They want Boston out of here right now. Now, Tobias Harris, Boban, and Mike Scott. Boban is a good clock management guy, a good personality. He's not going to change a team around or anything. The reason why they traded them is because Tobias and Boban are like best friends. They were best friends on the Detroit Pistons. They both got traded to the Clippers together because Boban doesn't really know how to get around. He looks to Tobias to do everything. So now they traded him. They like Boban gonna have to go with you because we don't know what to do with him. So we're gonna send him with you so he can be happy. We traded together, good. Oh, my buddy Tobias. Boban don't know how to do anything without Tobias Harris. So Boban's got to go there, and Mike Scott is just Mike Scott. So Landry Shamet is gone. Wilson Chandler is gone. Mike Muscala is gone. And so is 4 draft picks. Your first rounder in 2020, your unprotected first round pick from Miami in 2021 is gone, and 2 second round picks gone. So you now have all 4 gone. For Tobias Harris, they better hope and pray this works out or somebody's getting fired. Now, here's the deal. At the end of this day, let me tell you this. At the end of all of it, you know who's going to make out like a bandit? The 76ers players, Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler. They got plans to sign him and bring him back. This move indicates that they're going to try to resign and keep all 4 people and make a big 4. They want to keep this big 4 together. Jimmy Butler, they're going to work on a deal to sign Jimmy and Tobias Harris and keep Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and make a big 4. The 76ers are trying to win right now. And they gave away 4 draft picks and 3 players to do it. 4 draft picks they gave away for Tobias Harris. So what this means is that the Pelicans asking for 4 draft picks and all of this for Anthony Davis, that stock just went up. This whole trade validates what they were offering. Because if they got 4 draft picks for Tobias Harris with 3 players, the Lakers, they should have just gave up the other 2 picks. That's what they're saying. Look what Tobias Harris got. Markelle Fultz didn't get traded, no. Because it's hard to trade an injured player. It's hard to move him. You know, Markelle Fultz is a guy they basically seem they're going to cut. I mean, you're already paying for him, so you might as well see what he can do to probably help out on the bench. Plus, the team like him. But Wilson Chandler didn't work. Mike Muscala wasn't working. I mean, Landry Shamet, that's a good fit for the Clippers. But this helps LeBron because the Clippers are ahead of the Lakers. Now they lost a streak shooter in Tobias Harris. That streaky shooter, the one that shot him in overtime when they played the Lakers, now he's gone. So that position is different. So a lot of different things are transpiring. Well, the thing is most of these college players need development, and there's too many players coming in to the league, and players are playing longer. The average survival in the NBA rate at that time was people playing 12, 13 years from their superstar players. They played 12, 13 years. That was around the average NBA career. You played about 12 to 13. That was considered a very long career. And the Clippers did really good. Well, that's one way of looking at it. You could say the Clippers did really good, or what were they thinking as far as the 76ers? That was kind of a desperation move. That's kind of a move that I need to make something happen here to make people happy. Now let's see if this pays off, because Jimmy's going to need the ball. He wants to know what's his role. Tobias Harris might not be the answer to that role, but they plan on signing and bringing them all back through the conversations they had. Jimmy's just going to have to be comfortable with being a complimentary player that helps out and being the third option on the team if he wants to win. Now, if he wants to make a lot of money, okay, you can go play for the Grizzlies. They will pay you handsomely. Yeah, so Tobias and Boban, they always get traded together. I told you that. They best friends. That was going to happen. Um, Leaving Boban without Tobias Harris that's not going to fly. Boban will be lost. Tobias is his best friend. So when they got traded from the Pistons and they traded Tobias Harris, they took Boban with them. They would take Boban with him. He just followed Tobias around when they got to the Clippers. He was so happy to get traded with him so he could be with his buddy. And they hang out all the time, do songs and karaoke. Great guy. So now he's going to come to Philly, where the attitude's a lot different. So Tobias and Boban's going to be over there with Mike Scott. For Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, a 2020 first round pick, and an unprotected first round pick from Miami in 2021, and 2 second rounders in 2020. 76ers said, forget that. We're winning right now. Now, can you win with this line? Can Tobias Harris actually help them win and beat the Boston Celtics? See, the problem is for them was, do you know how this is going to work? Do you know how this would play out? These are the questions that need to be asked. These are the questions that need to be brought to, can Tobias Harris fit into this lineup? How would he fit in defensively? How would he fit in offensively? I think he's a great complementary player for the roles that they play. Because now JJ Redick should have more open shots. Jimmy Butler should have some more movement. The lanes for Ben Simmons, when he breaks down the defense, guys should be open because they got to penetrate to help out on him. Guys can be open, they can make shots. If Jimmy decides he's going to be the one or the two who's going to do the penetrating or playing the post, he could do that. He knows if he has to stop and make a pass, he got a guy all on the floor or pull up and hit a jump shot into Tobias Harris. The thing is, defensively, sometimes Tobias gets dumb or he'll get too happy on the outside and has to shoot a lot. And you don't want to have to continuously depend on this person. That's not what you want. He's a good complementary player, not a person you want to depend on night after night. In Detroit, he was forced to be that like the two guy. Being traded means that you're not wanted. That's not necessarily true. Tony, he does play like Melo. Tobias Harris does play like Melo, except for Tobias Harris is more, I believe, athletic than Carmelo. And the game has evolved away from what Carmelo does. But being traded means you're not wanted. That's not necessarily true. People can want you, but they need to trade you because they know they can't keep you for what they need to have happening right now. So they saw more on the table. They saw a chance to get 4 draft picks for you. Doesn't mean they don't want you. Just means that they saw something way worth a lot better or worth a lot more than you. That's all. So a lot of it can be confusing at times. I've noticed that a lot of people become more and more like confused with how things are done lately. It's very weird. Like, man, like they're confused with the process and all this. Like, I don't understand what I'm doing here. Like, what? What do you mean? That's dumb. What is it that you don't understand? Very simple arithmetic to me. Well, okay. No, the Knicks are getting big star players next year. They're gonna have to. They're gonna want to compete. I mean, they got some players. They got pieces where they could actually do something. But they got it's about chemistry. Right now, Joel knows how to play with Jimmy, and I'm quite sure they could fit Tobias Harris in. But it's gonna take a little time to gel because the 76ers can be really good and they could be really bad, like tonight. Tonight was a game they should have won. They should have never lost to Toronto like this. Now, Toronto, they know what their problem is. They need a reliable point guard. Kyle Lowry is good, but he's more of a scoring point guard. And they want somebody like Mike Conley. That trade would benefit them tremendously. So Boston can't sit back in their chair and say, well, we Boston. because they really got people coming after their heads. Everybody want that throne. Raptors been there too many times. They like, look, it's our time. We coming out the East. And the Sixers is like, nope, we want it. We hungry. And the Milwaukee Bucks is like, hey, everybody, we're number one. Hi. We're the Milwaukee Bucks. We beat all of you. We're here too. Hi. No, he's not going to Portland. I'm the one that reported on that earlier. That when they put it out slightly, but that trade was not going to work out because it provided the Pelicans no relief as far as the trade, no no cap release. They didn't agree to take Solomon Hill. They want Solomon Hill on the next thing out. Solomon Hill's contract is ridiculous. Will they get a big man? Well, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. They might. Depends on if he fits into the system or program or something that they want to do. I don't see how John Wall can be as efficient as everybody else is, but well, see, you basing it off one game. They did beat Golden State on their floor. They played very good in one quarter, and that was the third quarter. And they were really focused and they were on their way, but they cannot sustain it. Now, just because you get Tobias Harris, don't mean that everybody's going to sustain. Like you'll have some games where Joel Embiid is just great. Then he has spots where he doesn't pick up on the pick and roll. He's a little lazy on the switches. Communication is blown. People are not doing what they're supposed to do. And in a series, see, the playoffs is entirely different from the regular season. You guys have got to remember this. Throw out the regular season. That's just to determine where people are going to be ranked. Never use that to judge how the playoffs are going to be played. Okay, because if that was the case, the Portland Trail Blazers would be on top of everybody. They put up all these points, they shooting all this stuff. Then when the playoff starts, they losing 3, 1, 2, 3. You be like, how? What happened to Portland? Why they go? They score so many points. That's because people play you differently. When instead of just playing you one night, they got to play you in a series. They make adjustments. Their whole focus is you. They don't have to worry about going to Boston tomorrow or going to Phoenix and traveling. They know they only got to worry about you. So that means it's entirely different. And when they play teams like the 76ers, the 76ers going to have to be consistent every game. And it was down the stretch that they lost to Boston last year. They should have beaten Boston last year, to be honest. Boston should have never made it that far. Philly had them on the ropes. The reason why Philly lost those games were mental collapses. They got ran off the three-point line and forced those guys like Bellinelli and all those guys to be guys to try to create off the dribble. And they're not guys that create shots and opportunities off the dribble. They're not those type of players. So, on that note, the boy Carcino, and I am out. Don't forget to donate to the page, man. Click the link in the description box. Or if you want to use the Cash App, you can hit me on the Cash App at Carcino. Love, peace, and hair grease.